Alright, guys, this is pissing me off, man. Listen, no. I'm not pissed off at Twitch. I'm not pissed off at Morgpie. I'm pissed off at all of the people reacting to this as if it's something new, man. Dude, are you surprised that there are sexually explicit content on Twitch? Yo, welcome to Twitch, man. Twitch is like the weirdest place ever. It's like a place where you go to see like gaming stuff or maybe chatting stuff, and then you get bombarded by like these big booby streamers or like a bunch of lazy cows just lying on the bed with their butts facing the cameras. They're not even interacting with chat, they're just like on their cell phone, or they're reading their chat on their cell phone, I guess. Twitch is a void, man. It's like this weird place. The first time I stepped onto Twitch to try to stream, I was just bombarded, man. You know where you see those squares here? There was like 3 square of videos of just women with like big breasts. 2 of these videos were just like a girl lying on the bed, just like showcasing her butt to the camera. I don't know, one of them was actually Morgpie dancing. I didn't know she was dancing. She was like doing some moves. I was wondering what she was doing. Then I was also, because I've looked at one VTuber, because there was something weird going on, then I get bombarded by a bunch of VTubers doing some weird shit, like dude, I was like cursed forever, man. And I was planning to upload some videos about it, like some reaction videos, but then I would feel like a snitch, you know, so I didn't want to do it. Like in my head, it was up to Twitch to crack down on this content. It was up to Twitch to figure out what sort of platform they are, you know? Like I don't want to feel like a snitch, but now we came to the point where one reaction went viral or whatever, and now Twitch has done something, you know? And it pisses me off, because in my head, it's like, dude, this problem has always been there. What do you mean, man?
What is this meta?
What do you mean, what is this meta? Dude, the meta was always fucked. Dude, she has always been doing this. Okay, maybe she was not showcasing herself as half naked, but this is the kind of thing that you saw on Twitch for ages, man. Dude, I was losing my shit when I saw just this content recommended on my homepage, bro, because to me, Twitch is a gaming platform, right? And from time to time, you see other sorts of talents. But this was never supposed to be there. Then I saw a bunch of hentai drawers. It's like, dude, Twitch is being invaded, and I do not know if Twitch just doesn't know about it or like they don't know what to do about it, but they have acted, they have reacted now. Like, yeah, I hate this content, bro. I hate the fact that this content is on Twitch. It doesn't belong on Twitch. But what I hate out of all of this is the reaction that people have as if they didn't know about it, or as if this is where the line is like crossed, you know? To me, the line has been crossed ages ago with Amaranth with the fuck, I accidentally turned it off. Twitch feels like a chatterbait sometimes. I would go on Twitch and I would be like, wait, am I on chatterbait, man? I mean, I knew that I was on Twitch, but there was always this disconnect in my head. Like, is this a campsite? Is this becoming a campsite? So now we don't really see this content anymore, or else I would have already seen it. I don't know how am I supposed to find it now? Oh, never mind, 18 plus. So if I go on live channel, it's gonna be 18 plus. Oh, yeah, okay, there we go, man. There we go. That's what I was talking about. I love Twitch so much. What is this?
That's very fucky wucky as well.
Like, she's actually funny, man. Like, she uploaded some funny videos on her channel. But it's like, at some point, Twitch has to figure out what sort of platform that is, man. Like, the thing that's supposed to attract people, it's supposed to be like personality, right? Well, it's entertainment. Usually it's personality. Sometimes it's skills. But it's not supposed to be sex that attracts people towards Twitch, right? Like, most of the most successful streamers right now, they were like in pro teams. They started off when they were teenagers, right? Like, and they were attracting a young audience base, right? So I'm just like, and since Twitch is like a gaming thing, like Pokimane was probably like, I don't know what age she was when she started streaming. Like, Pokimane started streaming at 17. She was a teenager. SQC was a pro player. So, like, Twitch is supposed to be a hub for gaming. It has maybe evolved. It has become more... See, categories we think you like. What are those? Those are games and just chatting occasionally, right? It's not supposed to be a campsite, bro. So I assume that mostly, like, the biggest audience on Twitch is kids, right? They go to see people game. Games attract kids. There are more kids who play games than people who are not kids, right? How is this content just being displayed for so long? Or maybe it's because I have an adult account and kids account don't really see it. I hope so. I don't know. I don't have a kid account, bro. And I want to read this article. updating our approach to sexual content. We have received feedback from streamers that our policies on sexual content is confusing. I thought it was simply prohibited. I never... Really? To ensure content on Twitch is appropriate for diverse audiences, certain sexual content is prohibited. Oh, certain. Users are prohibited from broadcasting pornographic content. So I imagine pornographic content is just like when you're fully naked, or when you're riding a dildo or something. Or when you're riding like a sex toy or something. Oh, here we have adult nudity. Incomplete censoring, such as blurring effects, do not constitute like an exclusion to this thing. So even if you're just partially nude, you're still affected by it. That's what it says. We have an attire policy. An explicit dress code will be unreasonably restrictive, so you're not allowed to have revealing clothings. We recommend streamers wear attire that are publicly appropriate. So basically, they're just saying, yo, we don't wanna be known for sexual shit, so just be like as acceptable as possible, you know? You know, don't go out of your way to seem sexual or to have like sexual vibes, which is the opposite of what we have on Twitch, you know? Like it states, unless they have updated it like yesterday or something. We don't really have dates here. We don't have like a last modified on. We don't have this. But then you can point out, oh, it's hypocrisy because it talks about violence, but you have violence in video games. All right, sure, bro. I guess when this is your market, when your market is just the sex stuff, like maybe for you it's a big deal and you want to point out hypocrisy on other things. But in my head, like Twitch is not the place for that. It should be a place for that. And in my head, you're not welcome on Twitch if you do that. We want streamers to feel confident they understand the rules. That will never happen, even on YouTube. We will never feel confident because, like, you're throwing a big general rule such as violence is bad, but there's violence in video games, right? So it will never be 100% clear unless you state, except this, and these cases. Oh, okay, I understand now. So they're talking about the fact that there is a separate policy, there's a separate page. We encourage you to stream whatever you are passionate about. As long as it doesn't violate community guidelines, which is what we've read earlier. Well, I've read. You just listen to me. Okay, dude. All they're saying is basically, even if there are some content that do not necessarily violate the community guidelines, there might still be some content that are not good for young viewers. They do not say like, hey, if you're showing your boobs on stream, put this label. That's not what they're saying so far. They're just saying that there are some things that are maybe too mature for young viewers, even if they do not violate community guidelines. And sexually explicit content do violate community guidelines. So there's no real confusion here if you read this first paragraph. And they're giving you examples of labels. The only thing that might trigger confusion is this, sexual themes. But sexual themes is very large, right? It's not telling you that you can wear revealing clothing or act in a sexually explicit way. Sexual themes could literally just be like something to do with education, right? I don't think this vague term gives you an opening for the content that we saw on Twitch, especially with this first paragraph that says content that does not violate our community guidelines. Community guidelines being sexually explicit content are prohibited. You can have a sexual theme without being sexually explicit. Or I don't know, maybe we can have a philosophical debate about this one. Dude, if you're doing sexually explicit content, you just don't do it on Twitch, man. They're kids, it's a gaming platform. It's just common sense to me, bro. I don't know what to say. I wouldn't go like, oh yeah, but they talk about sexual theme and I'm not sure. Like, bro, I don't know, man. I'm not a hoe at the same time, so for me it's very easy to say, bro. I'm not on OnlyFans. Like, for me it's really easy, man. Oh, dude, hold on. We're scrolling down to sexual themes and certain sexual content. Okay, well now it's just showing loopholes. Okay, so I just made a mistake. A big problem in these policies is that they're using the term sexually explicit. They're not using the term sexually gratifying. Sexually explicit means when there are depictions of an actual intercourse, right? So because of this, those streamers are allowed to bypass it. So basically, the way I see it, Twitch have fucked themselves, man. So what has happened now is that everything that follows these labels, these mature labels, they will not be on the homepage. And personally, I don't like watch any of those specifically, so I don't care about it. I'm not disappointed. I don't think that it's bullshit necessarily. This is not my fight. I'm not interested in it. What I am bothered by is when I'm seeing those sexual content on my homepage. It bothers me. Yeah, it bothers me because I'm not on Chatterbait. I'm on Twitch, you know. The way I see it, Twitch right now is evolving. So now they allow erotic dances such as striptease. They will allow twerking, grinding, pole dancing with a label. The positive was they removed it from the homepage, but now they're allowing more sexually charged stuff on their platform. Content that highlighted breasts, buttocks, or pelvic region are allowed. Okay, and they're now allowing hentai. I thought it was allowed. Like, I mean, I was seeing it, but now they're actually stating that, yo, you're allowed to do that. Because that's what it means, fully exposed female breast or genitals or buttocks. So basically hentai is allowed, right? Don't do it if you don't want to take chances, bro. But that's what it says, that's what I'm reading. And you're allowed to do erotic dances. Are you allowed to be naked? What does this mean? Does this mean that you're allowed to be almost naked, suggestively naked? Anyways, it seems you're allowed to do more sexual things now. The way I see it, Twitch is now aiming to be like a bigger platform for streaming itself, which it's already been kind of doing, but to me it's like it creates this standard. So now there will have to be like clear separations. Incel searing? What is this?
In like the 90s, when porn really wasn't as accessible and they only had textbooks. A lot of Twitch artists who are trying to make art that happens to have nudity, like this, right, would get very unfairly banned. You can only
Happens
show...
to have nudity, dude. They're doing
like,
just
I think
nudity. What are
artists
you
had
talking
like a
about?
30-second rule.
Dude, even if the guy was naked, if that was a statue of a naked guy, I would have a problem, man. What the fuck, man? It's not just the incels, bro, man. I know, I mean, I'm not a woman. I don't know how I would react to a statue of a guy that's naked. But as a guy, even if there's a guy who's naked, or even if the guy is shirtless, I would still have a problem with it, bro. It's nothing to do with the fact that it's just a woman, bro. I would find it weird too, you know. The way I see it, Twitch is evolving now. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing or a good thing. It's your definition of what is a good thing. Me, I just don't want to see this shit on my homepage. That's basically all it comes down to. And I don't want kids to have like this easy access to this shit, bro. Cause bro, dude, you're throwing donations on this platform, bro. Like, I just thought about this now. This can turn very predatory, you know? You're like moral lecturing that gambling is a bad influence to people, because then people or kids will then waste more money. Bro, sexual content, imagine someone will just say, oh yes, send me some money and I'll show more or I'll do more. Like, it's the same thing, bro. I wasn't even thinking about this. I just remembered that some people had this comparison. Sexual content is also bad because then you will influence people to throw more and more money. You will influence kids to throw more and more money. You know, if you have a problem with gambling, you should also have a bigger problem than this. I think maybe XQC has brought it up too. I don't know. I was saying at the start, it's up to Twitch to figure out what sort of platform they want to be. And this, I think, is answering the question. I think they're trying to become much more than just a gaming platform. They're trying to be a main hub. They want it to be the place where you can stream everywhere. If you want to see some live striptease, go on Twitch, you know? The reason why people are having issues with this, because in their heads and in my head, Twitch is one thing, you know? Twitch was never meant to be this way. So now, if they allow twerking, grinding, then the things that are still not allowed, there is room for people to like manifest for it and say, hey, but if this is allowed, why would this not be allowed? So this would actually create a window of opportunities for more sexually like suggestive content to be out there. Whatever she was banned for could be allowed in the future. This is the way I see it. I don't know if it's fair to have banned her now, because that they stated what Twitch is becoming. I don't know if it's now fair to have banned her in the first place. If they're allowing hentai on their platform, then we have the argument of like, so how is this then banned, you know? If you're allowing like fictional character being naked, how is this person who is not like fully shown naked, how is she being punished for it, right? Like, I feel like it could create such a big loophole now. Personally, I don't know if it's just me not caring, but I don't think that this is that much worse than what we already saw on Twitch, you know? Like, it just goes a little step beyond, but just a little step beyond. I had the problem way before this. This face that this guy is making, I was making this face when I just saw someone lying on the bed with her ass facing the camera. And then another streamer with the biggest breasts ever. I'm like, what is going on here? Like, it's sexually charged. It's not a random thing. There's a reason why they're recommending me this. I don't want to fap on Twitch, bro. I would like to pull out her response because I want to see what's her perspective on this. And she still does. I don't think it's accessible. I think it was on her Twitch, which is banned now.
I think there are constantly people on the platform that abuse the very vague terms of service that Twitch has. I think whether I'm doing it, some other girls doing it, some guys are doing it. Like, you know, Twitch, they don't want sexual content.
Yeah, and you're correct. But again, they're saying sexually explicit, which by definition is just means like sexual intercourse. It doesn't mean sexually arousing, unless there's like multiple definitions. I just pulled it off and I said, shit, everything that I've been ranting about is literally wrong. But then she disturbs the attire policy.
They don't want sexual content. I think,
Well, now I don't believe that.
but people stream sex in video games all the time.
What do you mean all the time? Twitch, as stated, I've just read it, like, if you're streaming a specific game or you're specifically streaming sexual games, then yeah, it's a problem. Maybe that's what she's talking about. But if she's just saying, oh, well, there's sex scenes in video games, then that's irrelevant because it's just a one-in-a-lifetime thing, right? Like, they don't control the game or they cannot necessarily see it coming.
And, you know, people do have sexual discussions on the platform constantly.
If it's like educational or something, then I could see it being allowed, like I could see it not being a problem. But there's a huge difference between this, something that's sexually arousing, and just talking about it. But again, I don't know specifically what are the examples that she's talking about.
They allow sexual content, but at the same time they don't. And I think that with the vagueness,
Well, I always had the impression that sexual content is not allowed again, or that they were not supposed to allow it, but they seem to allow it.
people are going to find loopholes regardless because they do allow sexual content and sexual themes on the site.
Yeah, sure, but you happen to be the one that is being punished for it. It's like the, oh, if other people do it, I will do it. But here's the thing that I wanted to say also. I think it is shitty. Like, if Twitch just banned her just because she happened to have gone viral, you know? Like, if she is like some sort of sacrifice, and then they're like, oh shit, well, ban her, bro. Then I feel bad for this ban. I think it will be more fair. I don't know if it's too complicated to pull off. It's to send a letter or something, or an email or a notice somehow that says, hey, so don't do this thing again because it goes against her TOS, especially if she's like a big content creator, right? Instead of just outright banning her, because again, I'm afraid of they were okay with what she was doing or what other streamers were doing like her. And then it's like, oh shit, people are giving it so much attention, ban her, right? This is problematic to me. But it's easy for me to say because I'm not a company owner. And also the way it comes off, you know, if they're releasing this article after banning her, it's like, oh shit, ban her. Oh, by the way, we understand that everyone's confused. Here's our updated article, you know? It really feels like she was just a sacrifice, you know? That she was just a martyr in all this, which feels kind of shitty, you know?
You know, my ban, one of the reasons they listed was a lap dance. I'm the only one here, so I'm not really sure how I could have given anybody a lap dance.
Huh? Am I supposed to look at the definition of a lap dance now? Is a lap dance just supposed to be like in front of an actual someone? Is that what she's pulling off? Seems so innocent, bro. Makes movements while sitting on the lap of a customer. So she's not sitting on the lap of anyone, therefore it's not lap dance. That's what she's going with.
You know, nobody's breaking toss. Nobody is breaking the terms of service. And by the way, I am wearing a shirt. I do.
Boom. But she looks naked. So again, her sexual gratification or whatever the theme is here, it worked, you know. It's like she's not gaining much by doing it, you know. It's the way you presented yourself. The attire is very sexually, like, charged.
It's just the implied nudity.
Yeah, the implied nudity, which is what they don't want. People could easily mistake you for being nude. But I'm not even sure if Twitch even cares. I don't think it's that much crazier than what we've already seen on Twitch. Dude, do you see any guys wearing like sexually explicit clothes, man? I'm basically sure that people would also have a problem with that. Guys included, man. We would make fun of that guy, man.